Right. We cannot finish without a look at gold and silver. Aileen Amy says, what's going on with gold and silver? And also wants to know what your favorite Aussie gold stocks are. Whether you follow too many of the Aussie gold stocks, I'm not sure. But what's going on, Rick? It's
We follow the Aussie gold and silver stocks very closely. Traditionally, the Australian gold companies, it pains me to say it, but they've been substantially better run than their North American counterparts. And if you look now at the free cash margins enjoyed by the Australian producers, they are also better values by and large than the North American producers are. Going back to the original question, as the malaise in the gold market continues, I get more bullish. I want to own a lot more gold and silver, and I want to own a lot more gold and silver stocks. So perversely, I am hoping that an asset that I own a lot of declines in price because I'd like to own a lot more. I honestly believe a couple things. The wind is clearly in gold sales now.
okay.
Gold moves, precious metals move because people are concerned about the efficacy of their purchasing power in fiat instruments.
Mhm.
And anybody who isn't concerned about receiving 1.2 basis points in a currency that's depreciating by 5.5% a year is somebody that needs to go back to grade one math. I mean, that's just as simple as it is, particularly when the powers that be don't have any conceivable way out of the trap in the near term. Does this happen in 2021, 2022? I don't know. What I do know is that while it may not be imminent, it is inevitable. We've talked before, Carrie, about the fact that I really prefer to ask myself questions where the answer begins with when, not if.
Yeah.
The second thing that your listeners need to know is that cyclical declines in secular bull markets are common. Every bull market I've ever experienced has had 3 or 4 or 5 of them. They might unnerve you, but it's not the job of a bull market to make you sleep well. You need to understand that the circumstance that we're going through is a circumstance that occurred in 2003. It's a circumstance that occurred in 1977. It's absolutely normal and natural. Every time I scare myself, which is not infrequently, I go and I look at the Barron's Gold Mining Index,
Yes.
which is a 65-year running index that's the largest and most inclusive gold equities index in the world. And you can see that the circumstance that we're experiencing today is nothing that our predecessors, that I myself didn't experience in the 1970 to 1981 bull market or the 2000 to 2011 bull market.
Yeah.
The third thing that I would leave you with, and this may be less appropriate for Australian speculators, but in the second half of a precious metals bull market, which I think we're approaching, traditionally, the price action is led by gold, but silver takes over in the second half. The gold bug is a pretty committed maniac, but the silver bug is truly a manic depressive. And when momentum takes over in precious metals bull markets, silver traditionally moves further and faster than gold. And the most constrained asset of all is high quality silver stocks. Mm-hmm. When the generalist money moves into high quality silver stocks, I've seen it happen twice before in my career. Doug Casey describes it as attempting to siphon Hoover Dam through a garden hose. You could say Sydney Harbor through a garden hose, I suspect. Yep. Simply that there isn't enough market capitalization in the space to hold the money. Just because it happened before doesn't mean it's going to happen again, but I think it's much more likely than not to have happened. And with regards to both gold and silver equities, if you value them on the net present value of their proven cash flows at today's prices and costs, and you take that net present value number against their enterprise value, market capitalization plus cash minus debt, these companies are the cheapest that they've ever been in my career.
In your career?
In my career. Does that mean they couldn't get cheaper? No, of course not. But at some point, stuff is cheap enough. You're shopping for a coat for winter. It's been marked down from 400 to 200. It's cold outside. Do you wait to see if they're going to mark it down to 150 or you buy the damn coat? I get this one. I've trained 45 years for it. Probably my last active bull market. I'm going to enjoy the hell out of it.
Sounds like you're having a bit of fun. Aylin asked also your favorite Aussie gold stocks, please.
I'm
And
not
let's
sure
put silver in there as well.
Yeah, I'm not sure I have a favorite Aussie gold stock because I like so many of them.
No, that's good.
I don't think that you need to err on the side of the little ones to get torque. I believe there's torque in the big ones. I believe the gold price is going to go up. I believe that progress in the Australian dollar is going to be moderated, which means that the company's costs will go down. At the same time, their margins will increase. And they're cheap enough already.
Yep.
These guys are generating mountains of cash. And the institutional investors are loath to let them reinvest it because of the huge mistakes they made in the decade 2000 to 2010. So they either have to increase their dividends or engage in equity buybacks or ultimately participate in mergers and acquisition. Option 1, option 2, and option 3 are all very good for share prices.
Absolutely. Yeah. And we've seen a couple of the big ones like Northern Star and Evolution. Their share prices are probably the lowest that they've been for quite some time.
It is unbelievable to see the share price malaise happen at the same time that you look at the interplay between the balance sheet and the income statement on a quarterly basis.
Yeah.
These guys are piling up cash. My friend Doug Casey again describes earned dividends as outward manifestations of inward grace. And you are going to see these outward manifestations of inward grace across the mid-tier and top tier of the Australian producers.
So keep it, buckle up, I would say. Buckle up is what
Carrie, it's so weird. If you look back a year and a quarter ago, when these stocks were often priced at twice the price that they are today, people were knocking down the doors to buy them.
Mm-hmm.
Now that they're 50% off, people couldn't care less. You either believe the gold thesis,
or you don't.
Either believe in arithmetic, or you don't. If you do believe in the gold thesis, if you do believe that retained earnings are a sign of virtue, you have to own these things. I'm absolutely delighted that other people don't feel this way.
Because while other people don't feel that way, Rick is having an absolute ball because, as he says, he's enjoying the pullback in not only the gold price, but the gold stocks, because that's his playground and he's having a lot of fun while everybody else is looking the wrong way.
Yeah, there's probably 50 million potential competitors that are sitting on the sidelines.
Yep.
A lot of them richer and smarter than me. And I'm delighted, frankly, Carrie, not to be competing with them. I hope 4 years from now or 5 years from now, if the gold price has tripled and they're all climbing into the market and the market's demanding liquidity, that I can, what's the right phrase? Service them.